Hugh Hewitt, joined now by United States Senator Tom Cotton. Happy Thanksgiving and Christmas season to you, Senator. Good to have you on.
Well, happy late Thanksgiving, happy Merry Christmas, like the Christmas bump music. We're officially in the month of Christmas now.
We are December 1st, Rabbit Day. Senator, is there any truth to the rumor that you've introduced legislation to break up the Big Ten? I understand Arkansas is asking you to do that.
No truth on that. Congress has enough problems on our hands to not be meddling in college sports. But congratulations to you on the big win of the Ohio State Buckeyes weekend.
Okay, I have a question for you about your oversight rule. You know about the United States Office of Government Ethics. Either their account was hacked, or last night they tweeted out, "Real Donald Trump, we told your counsel we'd sing your praises if you divested. We meant it." You and I are lawyers. We took the Office of Professional Responsibility, the model code, seriously. You do not tweet out advice that you give to somebody's counsel, do you?
Well, Hugh, first off, you're a lawyer. I am a recovering lawyer. I've been clean for 12 years. Yeah, I saw a brief story about the Office of Government Ethics this morning, their series of tweets, which struck me as unusual for the reason you say. When you're a lawyer providing counsel, you don't announce that counsel publicly. But also, I simply found it unusual that a bureaucratic agency would be essentially trolling the president-elect on Twitter. Look, Donald Trump's business is very large and complex. It's not a matter of just selling off a stock portfolio. He has said to the American people yesterday that he is going to announce in a couple of weeks how he's going to separate himself in total from that business. I think we should simply give him the time he needs to make those decisions and keep that promise to focus exclusively on the business of the American people, not be trolling his decision on Twitter.
That is what I tell everyone, that when Secretary Clinton took the job in 2009, she entered into a memorandum of agreement with Valerie Jarrett for the presidential transition that detailed how they would handle the foundation. Subsequently broke that. They did not honor it. But that's how you deal with complicated situations. You enter into a memorandum of agreement about what you will do. It takes time. Don McCann is the White House counsel designate. He will get it done. Let's go to more important issues. You've spent time in Trump Tower talking to the president-elect. You've seen the reports that you're on the short list of the Secretary of Defense, and I don't want you to comment on that. But one of the people on there, General Mattis, whom I believe is going to end up being selected for this job, and I was wrong about everything thus far, so I could probably be wrong about this. You're a Ranger, he's a Marine. What do you think of a former general officer running DOD?
Well, Donald Trump has spoken with many very fine generals like Jim Mattis and Jack Keane and John Kelly, all of whom contributed with great distinction for many years in uniform. And whatever decision he makes about the Secretary of Defense job, Secretary of State, Director of National Intelligence, Homeland Security, or what have you, I know that he will benefit greatly from their counsel, as I and so many of my colleagues in the Senate have. We haven't had a retired general officer in 65 years as the Secretary of Defense. That's not to say it can't happen, and Congress can evaluate that if Donald chooses to make that choice. And if he were to pick someone like Jim Mattis or John Kelly, I'm confident that they would be able to navigate the issues that it might raise and ensure that Donald Trump's, as Commander-in-Chief, has his plans for defense policy executed effectively by our military, which, of course, on January 20th is going to transfer its loyalty 100% from Barack Obama to Donald Trump, as they do every inauguration.
Let me ask you about the Department of Homeland Security. The attack on the campus of The Ohio State University was bad enough, 11 injured, 1 critically. Could have been a disaster if the jihadi terrorist was actually competent and better at killing than he turned out to be. But it does focus us on DHS, and I think it's a completely dysfunctional agency. And I wonder if you think, as I do, that getting Petraeus or McChrystal or someone who has worked with both intelligence and other agencies which have way too many silos to get them to work together, 45 seconds, is that needed at DHS, Senator Cotton?
Stan McChrystal certainly is a very distinctive choice, but John Kelly, a retired Marine general, also has widespread experience in this area, both in the Middle East and as the commander of Southern Command. But DHS also is in charge of much of our immigration policy, and the prior choice before we just figure out how to identify people who are going to commit jihadist attacks is that maybe we shouldn't admit so many people from countries that are rife with jihadist movements. As we saw in Ohio State. And I would encourage everyone to focus on that element of the problem. Easier to stop those attacks if the people who are going to attack us don't come here in the first place.
Senator Tom Cotton, I hope you will be watching the CFP playoffs with Ohio State and wearing scarlet and gray come the new year. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Senator. Don't go anywhere, America. It's the Hugh Hewitt Show.